Another Video Tuesday with yours truly. I'm really stoked about this week because I'm gonna do my first ever reaction video. I've never done one of these before, and I've never watched the video I'm about to watch, so this is just as new for me as it is for you. So I'm gonna do a video reacting to a video uploaded by Fluteless on YouTube, and the video is called
Every Time James Cross-Dressed.
I've never seen it before, and I think it's really interesting and in line with what we're talking about on this channel. But before we do that, I'm gonna have a special guest come on and define some of the words that I may be using, specifically the definition of cross-dressing versus some of the terms that we're using today in the queer community that are often mistook for cross-dressing as a term, and that they're not necessarily synonyms for cross-dressing, and the ways in which the word cross-dressing can be harmful. We're gonna welcome here with big open arms to Dr. Dan Vena, who's gonna play a cute little game with me. I'm so excited to play. Hi everybody and welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Dan Vena. So as I mentioned, we're gonna have a little cute game component where Dan is gonna introduce us to some terms, but what he doesn't know is that I have also scrambled in some Pokemon and Pokemon titles. So he's gonna go through that. But before, will you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi all, my name's Dan. I'm actually an honest-to-goodness doctor of horror. I study horror films and the history of horror films, but I do it specifically in relation to queer, feminist, and trans histories, which is why I think Professor Lavender has co-opted me for the day to talk about queer things.
So as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to talk about defining certain words purposely because the reaction video that I'm looking at is called The Moments That James is Cross-Dressed, and cross-dressing has a very interesting history and term, and it's not really something we use anymore.
No, it's not a term. Well, I guess we're going to get into this.
Okay, so
it's a little more complicated than that.
So to get into it, as I said, I have this little game, and you haven't seen it
I have
at
not.
all. So I'm going through the slide deck, and essentially Dan is going to have like 10 seconds to define the word for all of you in a cohesive doctor manner. And if it's a scrambled Pokemon word, you have a couple seconds to unscramble it or name that Pokemon. So are you ready?
I'm going to give it my best go. Yes.
Okay, so the first one is queer.
Okay, 10 seconds. Queer is an umbrella term for gender and sexually diverse populations. We all are sexually and gender diverse, but this is in particularly relation to those who express themselves in non-normative fashions. So queer is an umbrella term, but it could also be a sexual orientation to indicate that you're somebody open to sexual romantic connections that are beyond just straight or heteronormative. Transgender, also a big umbrella term, which usually signals somebody who identifies other than the gender they were assigned to at birth. We all get assigned a sex and a gender at birth, and we assume that people are going to have the same sex and the same gender as they grow up. But a lot of people don't necessarily identify with that boy or girl label they get given at birth. So there's lots of other gender locations and places to go. There's man, woman, there's non-binary, there's agender, there's two-spirit. There's lots of different iterations of gender.
Wow, you're good at this.
Oh, kabutops. Drag. Okay, drag's a performance art. It's a form of art and artistic expression in which somebody dresses of the clothes of another gender, so a gender that they don't necessarily identify as. Famously now with RuPaul's Drag Race, you'll probably be more aware of drag queens. So those are individuals who identify as men but are performing as women. But there are things known as drag kings, and drag kings do not get the kind of cultural love they deserve. And it's really about sending up stereotypes about femininity
Stop
and
you.
masculinity. Oh, that's a scramble, because that's not a queer word.
I mean, it is. It could be. You lost that one.
Nope. Don't. Cross-dressing. That's a word I know. Okay, so cross-dressing is actually kind of the historical term given to queer individuals and even transgender individuals. We don't use this word anymore because it has a long history of medicalization and pathologization. So people being given this term or it being given to them by doctors who are labeling them as ill or deviant. But in general, anybody could necessarily be a cross-dresser. All it means is about enjoying wearing the clothes of another gender, and it usually has to do with emotional gratification. It could have to do with sexual gratification. It's really about the person and their preference. That's alter. What? How am I supposed to get these?
This is like one of the first 150 Pokemon.
I know, but I don't know what
You got it. You almost got it.
How? No, it's not happening.
War
War Turtle? I thought we were doing basic Pokemon. Basic Pokemon.
Oh no, sorry.
Okay, well, definitely missed that. Okay, Drag King and Queen, already described that. And I will just take these 10 seconds to mention that you should Google Drag Kings, because they really don't get the cultural love they need, and that they are actually interrogating masculinity in really interesting ways. And I think we don't really want to grapple with interrogating masculinity that much. So that's all I'll say about that.
Why
would we want to do that? Execute.
That was a record.
Did it. I just saw it. I
just saw the word.
Oh, Bayleaf. No. I don't. This was beyond my childhood formative.
This is it's fine.
This is cisgender. This is an up-and-coming word. I mean, it's been around for a while, but maybe this is new to you. So we have the word transgender to signal when people move to a different gender identity, expression, or location from that they were assigned to at birth. Cisgender means you just stuck with it. So if you were birth assigned female and you were, you super love being a girl, you identify as a girl and a woman, that means you're cisgender. It essentially just means not transgender. And totally cool with that too, as a possibility. Okay. Now I'm thinking of evolutions. Now
they're all 150.
Okay, well that other one was not 150.
Yes, it was.
No, the picture wasn't.
Oh no, that one wasn't.
All I'm seeing is lantern, and I know that's wrong. Genderqueer, another big umbrella term. Genderqueer is essentially an expression or a term used to indicate somebody who maybe identifies beyond the gender binary. So binary usually means two opposites, so man, woman. So if you identify outside of that binary, you might use a term like genderqueer, but genderqueer could also just refer to how somebody expresses their gender, which doesn't also, again, have to conform to that binary. Oh, queering. Okay, different than queer. Queering is essentially looking at a film, a TV show, and showing or identifying points in which it breaks away from heteronormative expectations. So there could be queer subtext between two characters who may like one another, but it's more so just about finding the moments, the emotions that evoke a queer kind of sensibility, something that is not necessarily heteronormative, but fits with queer culture, queer affect, queer experience. It resonates with queer lives.
Like Pokemon.
Yeah, and James. As we're gonna see soon. That's not first generation.
I said the Scrambles were. I didn't say the Pokemon were.
It's this person here, but I don't know what their name is.
You can literally just read the card.
Deoxys.
Good job.
I know other words. Clearly. Like, I clearly also know other words.
That was the end of this game. You did good. I mean, you did good at the queer stuff. That's what we're here for.
That's really why you hired me today.
Thank you so much for coming in and for explaining these words to us.
No problem.
And setting us up for the reaction video.
No problem, doctor.
Doctor?
And doctor.
Doctor.
Doctor. Bye, everybody.
So, I'm just gonna start it now.
Congratulations! You guys are way lucky! You can go on a super deluxe sea cruise!
Okay, so I am pretty sure James's skirt is shorter in this scene.
A sea cruise? Well, it's like it.
It definitely is. Check that out. James's skirt is shorter than Jesse's in this scene. That lip gloss is perfect. It's like the same shade as mine.
Oh, we have these incredible super cool tickets for you. Cool. Cool, huh?
Thank you for your Pikachu.
Okay. That was weird. Let's watch that.
Hey, you can't take you wanna
Okay, so James here is wearing this super femme Hawaiian outfit, or Hawaiian, stereotypically. But his voice is so deep. Often when he's like cross-dressing, sometimes they make his voice a little bit higher, but that was like quite the image.
rip through the warp tile.
That was easy.
And now Salon Roquet presents a fashion extravaganza and Pokémon Battle-thon to protect the world from boring fashion.
To dress all people with flash and passion.
To give all Pokémon pretty faces.
To extend our art to outer spaces.
Jesse.
That was good. So now we even have Jesse cross-dressing. They're like completely reversing roles.
James.
Salon Roquet. When it comes to chic, we
Salon
know what's
Roquet.
right.
Surrender your taste to prepare to fight.
Hello, everybody. Good day.
I don't believe my
We know that's a basket full of Togepi's, right?
eyes.
We pick up on eggs, so you will buy our eggs.
So now we have James again with the higher octave voice.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I'm pretty sure every senior in my graduating or at my prom had that same dress, if not the exact same color, but a little bit longer, but definitely that color. For sure.
And children of all ages.
The Pokemon magic is about to begin!
All right then, a little changing music. Ooh, pass me that, will you? No, that's mine.
How many times do you think they changed together? Especially since at the age that you'd be watching this, you can't even be in each other's change rooms at school, let alone like change with your dude friend. And people say that this is not for kids because of the queer content.
Ready?
Oh, hand me those puffs. Ooh.
To protect
Because there's no such thing as male police officers.
the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth.
Alright, this video needs to be called Every Times James and Jesse Cross-Dresses because I think they often both do it.
Love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Jesse.
James.
Team Rocket, blast up at the speed of light.
Surrender now or prepare to fight.
Brock, I think it's probably just because you weren't prepared for them.
That must be the trouble, Brock. You weren't prepared to see them. That's the trouble.
A bride and groom. Oh, congratulations.
Congratulations!
I
On
love
this
love.
sunny wedding day,
There's a funny trick we'd like to play.
our matrimony
Is a total phony.
Huh?
Now
There was nothing cuter than having a wedding scene with the Nidorinos and the Nidorinos. Or the Nidorinas and the Nidorino together. But they actually, fun fact, wouldn't mate. They would never get married. Weird.
Take these Pokemon away!
Baby are not prepared for trouble.
Lady are not better make it double.
To protect the world from devastation.
To unite all peoples within our nation.
To denounce the evils of truth and love.
To extend our reach to the stars above.
Meowth!
And I'm James.
Team Rocket, blast off at the speed of light.
Surrender yourself, AoE girlfriend. Or...
I like that when James says it's James, it's his voice, and then when he's after, like, we don't know it's James, he's like, hi, we surrender now, we're prepared to fight.
Prepare to fight.
That's right.
Hooray! We're from the local Pokemon Battlers Ladies Auxiliary, and we're here to congratulate you.
But after all that
I'm
fussing
pretty
and
sure
fighting
it would be
and
easier to catch
such, make all
Pokemon
these
if you
cute
weren't
little
wearing a
girls
dress.
down.
What would I
Where were
know?
we?
Man, how cool is that?
This Pokeblock
So cool.
must be incredible.
Those two have the exact same voices as Ash and Misty, right? That wasn't just me.
Costumes worked great.
I may just keep the wig.
All right, you two, pull over.
Of course not.
Bet you can't catch us!
Behold my ninja.
Okay, I know that that was Bet You Can't Catch Us, but that sounds a whole lot like another word.
Double team.
If you wouldn't mind, Shiftry, would you please show these three an example of a real ninja double team?
Hey, don't stop or they'll find us out.
I just went a little late for that! This can't be good for my heart.
Good plan.
This is an idea whose time has not come.
Suck it up and be more confident. That's the way Jesse always rolls, and you know it.
Perhaps so, but Jesse's a coordinator and I'm anything but. I regret to say I'm going to lose round one and get out of this milieu.
I don't think so.
What? How dare you?
Look, if you don't win this milieu, Jesse's gonna stay sick.
Perish the thought. Cute little Vena!
How many times are they the Pokemon
I
Central
promise
Lady?
you it'll be delectable.
Here's your very own talking lunch. Boxed and ready.
Okay, so this scene is fascinating because this scene right here was actually banned in North America. So we talk a lot about how Pokemon, a lot of people are saying Pokemon's not queer, Sailor Moon's not queer. And the reason and why that a lot of us think that in North America is actually because a lot of the queer content or some of the more obvious changes in gender or augmentation like we see here on screen is actually because these have been purposely removed from North American versions of the show because it wasn't allowed to be on North American networks. So this scene here, we can see that the person who made this video had to actually take it from the Japanese version, and that's because it was okay in Japan, and this scene was completely cut out of our versions. So it's really cool to see when you're watching the show in its original format, what was actually intended, and also culturally how we think of gender and gender expression and representation across the world. So definitely keep that in consideration when you think that, well, Pokemon's not queer, Pokemon doesn't do these things. It's probably because you aren't allowed to see it because of patriarchal ideas of what is gender. Even their text is just so great, and there's a very similar scene like this in Sailor Moon Crystal where Usagi is talking to Sailor Uranus, and Uranus, Haruka, goes to kiss Usagi, and Usagi says, but are you a man or a woman? And Haruka responds with, does it matter? And I think that's brilliant because that's really much the essence of how these shows were created and some of the feelings that were supposed to be disseminated. Okay.
Everyone's going to be together and, like, have the coolest party. Cool. And the party's for Pokemon trainers only.
Cool. Okay, well that was super fun. I'm really happy that I got to do that with all of you, and I hope you enjoyed it. And let me know if there's any other videos that you'd like me to respond to. I would love to keep doing that. And thank you so much for the creators of that video. It has millions of views now, so check it out on YouTube. I'll link it up here, and I hope you have a lovely week. Take care.